Why do powerful institutions like the military, deep state, and bureaucracies sometimes act against their own people? It's a disturbing reality observed in many countries around the world, particularly in states like Pakistan, Myanmar, Iran, and Egypt. Many post-colonial states inherited authoritarian governance structures designed for control without public participation. Bureaucracies and security institutions built on these foundations tend to resist reforms that promote democratic accountability. Parliaments are bypassed, courts politicized, and election commissions manipulated. U.S. counterterrorism tactics, Israeli-style policing, and Gulf-backed religious ideologies have reshaped domestic institutions to focus on surveillance and control rather than development, inclusion, or welfare. Meanwhile, military budgets remain shrouded in secrecy, evading public scrutiny or parliamentary oversight. This lack of accountability allows massive corruption and unchecked misuse of national resources. Divide-and-rule tactics further help consolidate power, fueling ethnic and sectarian divisions to weaken opposition and justify repression. In Pakistan, this has led to the continued marginalization of Baloch Pashtun and Shia communities. Reforms are often blocked out of fear that transparency and digitization will expose corruption or reduce the discretionary power of elite. These institutions often act in their own interest, prioritizing institutional survival, profit, and control over public service and democratic governance. Unless there is deep structural reform, clarity in constitutional roles, and genuine civilian supremacy, such establishments will continue to act against the very people they claim to protect. Civil protests, whether by students, farmers, or victims, families are viewed not as calls for justice, but as threats. These are frequently met with crackdowns, surveillance, and arrests. The institutional culture in these organizations also suppresses innovation, dissent, and participatory governance. Loyalty and obedience are prioritized over critical thinking or public service. At the same time, economic interests deeply shape the behavior of these power centers. In countries like Pakistan and Myanmar, the military controls vast business empires ranging from the Fauji Foundation and Group 2, the jade and energy sectors, and protecting these billion-dollar assets often becomes more important than serving the public good. These institutions, originally meant to serve and protect the nation, often end up dominating or suppressing it. One major reason lies in the military's belief in its own superiority over civilian leadership, seeing themselves as the ultimate guardians of national integrity. Military establishments often undermine democratic processes, especially when elected leaders appear to challenge their authority. In Pakistan, for instance, this mindset has led to repeated military coups and the removal of leaders like Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and Nawaz Sharif. Much of this behavior can be traced back to colonial legacies. Foreign alliances have also incentivized anti-democratic behavior. Strategic partnerships, especially with global powers like the United States, have resulted in military aid being funneled into these institutions, reinforcing their autonomy and reducing pressure for democratic reform. Pakistan, for example, received over $33 billion in aid from the U.S. between 2002 and 2018, most of it benefiting the military. With this external support, the deep state often uses national security narratives to justify repression, labeling journalists, activists, or political opponents as threats or foreign agents to silence dissent. Figures like Hamid Mir and Masan Dawar have faced severe backlash under such pretenses. To maintain control, these institutions deliberately weakened civilian power structures. Moreover, many militaries have adopted internal security doctrines imported from foreign allies. Ultimately, what emerges is a system where unelected power centers stem military, intelligence agencies, and senior bureaucracy wield de facto control. Let me know if you'd like this adapted further for a blog, podcast, or documentary-style narration.